So you joined a gym as part of your New Year's resolution. This is Jason Blaha here, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit, specifically those of you out there who decided to join a gym for this, or any of my regular listeners who had a friend, family member, loved one who decided to take on fitness as a New Year's resolution. And what we need to discuss is how people need to approach this so that it actually works. It's like I said in the video the other day, if you wait till New Year's and you actually do it as a legitimate New Year's resolution, the odds are against you. Statistically speaking, you are going to fail. Now, that being said, what I want to present here are some ideas for people to minimize that risk of failure. Because the biggest two problems that you have are that people who do this as a New Year's resolution kind of pick an arbitrary time to do it. Again, New Year's seems like a good idea because it's tradition to make resolutions, and oftentimes they're fitness or health related. And they go all in without having any knowledge of what they're doing. They tend to overdo it and have no clue what in the hell they're actually doing, and they don't understand that fitness requires lifestyle changes. In other words, just like with weight loss, it's documented fact that 95% of people who lose significant amounts of body fat regain it all, 100% of it within 5 years. And it's because they go on a diet, because they make dramatic lifestyle changes that aren't real changes or sustainable in the long term. Now, when it comes to training, it comes to joining a gym, what a lot of people do, they jump all in without doing any research first, or they think they know what they're doing. They join a gym, they come in, they train hard, they get really sore, they give it 100%, they get burned out, they get injured, or they get hurt, and they give up. Because they throw too much into it at once. And what I'm going to recommend to you, if you're new to the fitness game, you've never competed in any sport, you have no athletic background, nothing like that. You're not really a fitness enthusiast or athlete, and you decide to do this because you want to lose weight, because you want to feel better, because you want to be healthier. Don't go all in. That is the absolute worst thing you can do. And it's just like with anything else in life. If you jump up and decide that you want to learn to play the piano, and you think that you're going to jump right in and play Mozart in your first week at a concert, you're going to be sadly disappointed. You have to learn the basics first. And when it comes to exercise or fitness choices, you need to make small changes because these things have to become habit. In other words, it can't feel like you're actually doing work. Because if it's something that you start to see as a major output or a major change too much at once, you start to resent it, you will get burned out and you will give up. The statistics on this are overwhelming. And when it comes to training and it comes to changes in body composition, you have to understand the human body adapts extremely well to small changes repeated over time. In other words, it's nothing to do with getting sore. It's nothing to do with how much you sweat. It's how much do you overload the body consistently over time. And if you go undertake any endeavor in the gym and you don't think you can triple the amount of output you're doing 6 months from now with whatever you're doing, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You have to be able to progress to continue to make adaptation. And if you just throw everything at your body at once without a plan, without following a structured program, you're going to be overwhelmed. What I'm going to recommend for most of you, come into the gym a couple days a week, maybe do a little bit of light free weight exercises, go do some reading. Get in and just start working on your mobility, work on your abs a little bit. So people go, oh my God, I can't believe you as a competitive strength athlete are actually telling people to do that. Yeah, I am. Because most people who are coming into the gym have no foundation, no base, and the worst thing you're going to do is jump on a bunch of machines and they're going to come in and train their arms for hours and they're not going to get anywhere. And they're just going to get sore and tired and burn out. What I would recommend is that you look into several novice programs. I have a couple in my playlist. I have one for non-athletes. Look into something like Starting Strength. Go read Starting Strength, all right? Spend the $20, buy the book. Read the book cover to cover. While you spend your first month in the gym just working on your mobility, getting up, moving around, sweating, working on your abs, working on your core, maybe learning to do a few body weight squats, you know, some machine-assisted pull-ups. Come in and do some basics. Come in and do a little cardio 2-3 times a week. Don't come in 2 days in a row ever. You're a noob, all right? Go read any of these books and start learning the basics. And don't change more than one thing every 3 weeks. In other words, spend 3 weeks coming in playing around so that you have time to read these books. And what you need to remember is that when it comes to coming to the gym and body composition changes, the big exercises are what's going to make the most difference. In fact, people will come in and they'll spend all this time playing around with their arms instead of working on the big muscles that are going to speed up their metabolism and help them burn fat and build muscle and get stronger and do the things that they want to do. They'll come in and do a bunch of curls or work a bunch of little small muscles. And you know what? There have been repeated studies, and not one study has ever found that arms grow at all for noobs by adding isolation movements if they're already doing bigger exercises. There's never been a single study, to my knowledge, that has shown any conclusive growth in arms by doing curls or tricep extensions if you're already doing bench pressing and lat pull downs. All right? So coming in and playing with all this silly stuff is a waste of time. You need to come in and just work on your mobility and your core a little bit and build up a little bit of cardiovascular capacity so that you can learn how to do big exercises. And you're going to get the most bang for your buck getting under a heavy barbell. And that's going to require you to do some reading, to do some research, to make a real commitment. And if you do this one step at a time, that commitment's not going to feel as big. So you can come in and play around for 3 weeks. But the worst thing you can do is to come in without a plan, to not follow a structured program written by someone who really knows what they're doing. And again, these programs are all available now. Like I said, Starting Strength is out there. I have free programs. But anyway, I always recommend everyone read that book. But you need time to commit to coming to the gym. And the worst thing you can do is to come in and just get everything you have and be in the gym for an hour, 5 days in a row, Monday through Friday. Because I promise you, you will be one of those 90% of people who drops out, and by March you will no longer be attending the gym and you will be paying a gym fee so that everyone else can get cheaper rates, because that's pretty much how gyms operate. Over 50% of their people don't come in past the 3rd month of the year who sign up for a 1-year contract. Well over half. That's how gyms make their money, and that's fine. Let those other people come in and goof off and then continue to allow you to have a cheaper gym because they keep paying for the rest of the year. Add things in slowly. Same thing with your diet. You don't need to go on any special diet. You know what? If you want to lose fat, you want to get in shape, change one thing in your diet every 3 weeks. How about the first 3 weeks you cut out all your sodas, all your Coca-Cola, all your Pepsi, all your sugary drinks. All right, cut those out in your first 3 weeks. That alone will help you lose 5 pounds of fat by itself, 5 to 10 pounds for most people. You don't need to follow special diets. Just over time, start focusing more and more on whole foods, better choices, right? Don't add the butter to your baked potato. How about you do that? Your second, third week, after that first 3 weeks of not adding all these sugary drinks, quit adding extra fat to your food. Quit adding extra fat to your food that you don't need. You don't need extra cheese and butter on a baked potato. Eat your steak. Eat the baked potato with it. You want a little sour cream on it, that's fine. And some steamed broccoli on the side. Little changes, one step at a time. What you don't want to do is to add something new more than every 3 weeks, because it takes 3 weeks for something to become a habit. And if you go 3 weeks without drinking sodas, that's automatically going to start your fat loss. If you're going to a gym, even if you're goofing around a little bit and playing around, all right, and you cut your sodas out, for most people, you're going to lose several pounds of body fat just from doing that. Like guaranteed. Guaranteed. Small steps. You need to make little tiny changes, or as a term Brittany and I like to use, are 10% shifts. A 10% shift in your lifestyle, and once that becomes a habit, then other things will fall into place and you can change something else. But you need to do this one step at a time. It's not an all-in thing, because what you need to understand, if you want your fitness results to last, you need to be willing to do whatever changes you're doing for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 20 years. And if you're not going to do that, you're completely wasting your time. And so when you start making dramatic changes that are too much at once, that you're not going to be able to stick out as a long-term lifestyle, you're dooming yourself to failure. Do it in small, bite-sized chunks, one step at a time, and develop a game plan. Learn the basic exercises, learn the big barbell movements, because that's what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. But these lifestyle changes need to be done in small, gradual, bite-sized chunks so that a year from now, you're not poor several $100s or more, $500, $600 for a year's worth of gym membership, and you're not fatter than where you were this time last year, because you don't want to go through this again next year. To come in, spend a bunch of money, get sweaty, get sore, get burned out, get made a fool out of, and then be out, $500 and be fatter on top of it. Don't let that happen. Come in with a game plan. Don't bite off more than you can chew at one time. Take it slow and make sure that each change that you make is one little change at a time and something that you're going to be able to stick out for the rest of your life. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.